So I was just taking a nap. I just woke up a minute ago, and this fire truck siren was going off as my water heater turned on. And then it clicked again as they set off the horn on the fire truck as it drove by me. There's this clicking sound coming from my water heater again as it drove by and honked the horn. As I was regaining consciousness, that's what was happening. There's this blue truck driving by me, and he's probably a stalker. He's turning, and he's parking, and then a stupid thing is gonna happen right now when he parks. Nothing happened when he parked. But I think I saw cars syncing up when he got out and closed the door, though. Perhaps. I don't know. Another thing that's crazy is that video I was recording today. There was like a lot of people stalking me with their children. Like, it's National Stalk with Your Children Day, I guess. I didn't know that was today, but I guess that's today, is National Stalk with Your Children Day. Because there was a lot of them. again, I'm not a parent, so I don't have children, but if I did have children, I don't think I would stalk with them in the car. Like, I wouldn't stalk people in general at all. But if I was gonna stalk somebody, I don't see why I would ever bring my children in the car with me. You know, like, especially if they're telling them that I'm a terrorist or something, which they might not, I don't know, but if they were, hypothetically, like if someone told me this guy's a terrorist, go stalk him, I wouldn't be like, well, should I bring my children in the car with me? Hopefully they'd be like, wait, what? What do you mean bring your children in the car with you? No, we just want you to stalk somebody. Because they're a terrorist. Why would you want to bring your children in the car with you? That sounds really irresponsible. But no, apparently they're telling them, hey, bring your children with you also. Like, shouldn't the parents be like, wait, what? What do you mean bring my children with me? That sounds irresponsible. But no, apparently they just agree though, and they're like, okay, should I put a red shirt on my child too? Yes, put a red shirt on your child too. Okay, no problem, I'll just bring my child out and stalk somebody with my child in the car. Nothing could go wrong here. I'm stalking a terrorist with my child in the car. It's like me going out to catch a pedophile and I bring my child with me in the car. Isn't it? Because, like, apparently they tell them that I'm a terrorist or a pedophile or something like that to make them stalk me, apparently. According to other TIs and, like, books about TIs and stuff, they tell them that we're terrorists or whatever. Maybe. I don't know what they tell them or what their motives are, but apparently they slander you and say that you're terrorist and shit or whatever. So, like, isn't that kind of like me going out to catch a pedophile and I bring my child in the car with me? Isn't that, like, irresponsible to do something like that? Is my point. Isn't that, like, crazy to do that with your child in the car? Isn't that, like, crazy, irresponsible? But apparently, it's just a normal thing to do. It's what everyone does. They just go stalk with children in their car. It's just a family event, a family tradition to go stalk with children in your car. Yep. Apparently, it's just a normal thing to do to stalk with children in your car, and to stalk with children, and to stalk children, probably. And like stalk TI's children, like if they have children. Apparently, it's just okay to stalk with children, and to stalk children, and to stalk children with children. Which I assume are also going on, but definitely it seems to be okay to stalk with children, though, at least. But I think that they also stalk children and stalk children with children. And they stalk adults with children. There'll be like a group of children outside playing stalking me. Even Brian Fritz approves. Okay, dude, I don't know what you mean still. Can you explain what you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Yep, it's just okay to stalk with children and to stalk with mentally handicapped people too. Make mentally handicapped people walk around and stalk. I think I see someone stalking me with their children right now. Out my apartment window. Who in their right mind would stalk with their children? Serious question. Like, I'll see people walking by me with a baby in their arms. Like, walking right by me on the sidewalk, stalking me. With a baby with a red shirt on. Walking by me to stalk me, to piss me off, deliberately, with the baby with the red shirt on in their arms, like an irresponsible stockhead that doesn't deserve to have a baby. These They just do all types of synced up things out here, man. It's just fascinating. I just see this car coming, and I'm just like, it's gonna do it, isn't it? Yup, it did it. It did it with another car. Wow. Did they have their children in the car, too? Here comes the ambulance driving by me. Is something gonna happen? As he got to the other corner, these other cars drove out that looked synced with it. It's 2 red cars, I think. And then, like, a bunch of cars will come out, and then, like, the last 2 cars will go around the corner at the same time, like, different corners. But, like, a bunch of cars will come out at once, and then they'll all go around, like, the last cars will go around the corners at once, and then there'll be nothing again. Like, is there anyone out there that isn't stalking with their children and doing weird shit like that? Or is it just stalkers and me? Am I the only one around here who's not a stalker? Just trying to see if they got the drones out tonight, but not yet, at least. They're probably always out there, but, like, they just float out there with their lights turned off. There's probably always a drone out there. Just staring at me with his X-ray vision camera on, looking through the walls, staring at me in full HD, full color, looking through my clothes and staring at my dick. That's probably what's happening at all times. It's just a guy staring at me with a drone. They just keep going and going out there, man. They just keep going and going and going and going and going with other ones. And they sync up the other ones with the other ones. And then they do other things with other ones and sync them up with other ones. And they're doing another one right now with the other ones. And they do it, and then they do it with the other ones, and then they do another one. Same things, just other ones, and then the same ones, and then other ones. You know how it goes. They always come up with new ways to do the same thing. And then they do the same things, and they do the same things in other ways, and they do other things with different things in the same ways. This white truck and this white SUV are doing it. They're doing it. He drove right by my apartment, and then he met a white SUV right at the street. And then when he turned onto the street, a tan van drove out, and then there's a tan SUV with it. Once again, I saw a tan car, and I saw another tan car with it, synced up with it perfectly. My refrigerator just turned off, synced. The other day, my refrigerator turned off, turned on or off right when I went out the door of my apartment. It's just always turning on and off synced at different synced moments. And every time it's at a synced moment. All day, every day. Just imagine if all day, every day, your refrigerator is turning on and off synced, your water heater is turning on and off synced, your space heater thing on the wall is clicking synced. Your toilet is syncing every time you flush it, and also just turning on randomly sometimes synced. Just imagine if every day every time those things are happening, it's synced, and every time you hear people in the hallway in the apartment, it's synced, and every time you hear someone through the walls, it's synced, making any type of noise, either talking on the phone or blowing their nose or coughing or making a tapping noise or whatever they're doing through the walls. Anytime you hear a sound through the walls, it's synced. Anytime you hear any of those other sounds, it's synced, and every time you flush the toilet, it's synced. It's turning off synced every time you flush it. Every single time. Just imagine if it was every single time. And then every time you hear a noise outside of the apartment, it's synced, usually. whether it be a nail gun, a car horn, a car alarm, a car hitting their lock button, a car door slamming, a dumpster slamming, a garbage truck unloading a dumpster, a garbage truck pulling up, any type of car pulling up, or a loud truck or a motorcycle driving by, whether close by or in the distance. Anytime you hear these sounds, they're synced 90% of the time. And anytime you hear any of those other sounds, they're synced 200% of the time. All day, every day. And anytime you hear a siren, it's synced, and you hear like 10 of them per day, at least. Not every day is 10 of them, but like most days, it's like 10 of them, or like 5 of them at least. But then some days the sirens take a day off or whatever, or like I'll hear one of them or whatever. But every time I hear one though, it's synced. Someone getting out of a car with their child with a red shirt on. Are they sinking? There's a white SUV driving through the intersection as the child with the red shirt went around the corner. I think they're sinking with their child with the red shirt on. And they sent him walking out first to sync with the white SUV around the corner. The child with the red shirt. The child with the red shirt. And then the other day when I was recording in the morning, the day before today, yesterday, whatever you call that day, I took a nap today, so I had to think about it. But yeah, when I was recording yesterday morning, there's this child that stepped off the sidewalk right next to me at the crosswalk, and he looked like really like awkward, like he didn't want to do it or something. He had this look on his face like, why do they have me out here stalking this guy as he was walking to school or something? Just like walking by himself. I don't know, but it seems like a lot of them don't want to do it. Like a lot of the children don't want to do it. But then a lot of them do. They think it's hilarious. It's like a fun game to them. Just like the adults. Some of them look like they don't want to do it. Some of them do. I don't really know what's going on with them. But I do think that they know what they're doing. I don't think that they're body snatched. Like, people say, like, some people say, like, they don't know what they're doing. But I think they do. Because I'll see them all the way down the street staring at me and, like, with this look on their face, like, oh, here he comes. Okay, get ready, guys. I can see it on their face. They're looking at me all the way up the street as I approach them. Yeah, they're doing it out there with white cars and people with their children and shit. Yup. Yup. They just keep doing it with their children and shit. I think I heard one out in the hallway, I don't know. Like when I set my phone down. And then my neighbor just cough synced when I stir the pot, and then I walk away from it. My neighbor coughs through the wall right at that moment, one time. Nothing. I like how quiet it gets when I go live. They just don't make a whole lot of noises when I go live, but then when I'm not live, there seems to be more frequently people walking around the hallways and shit. But then when I go live on here, they don't do it as much. Usually. It's nice. There's nothing happening right now. Do you hear that truck outside? I think that's one. I don't know though. Might not have been. It might have just been a loud truck outside. My refrigerator wasn't turning on at the same time or anything, so I don't know, man. But my water heater just turned on, and it was probably syncing with me talking or something. Because every time that it turns on, it syncs, so it was probably syncing with that or something. And then the train horn was going off again today when I was sitting in my apartment. It's always doing that. And it's just a guy with a parked train honking a train horn, synced up with me moving around inside of my apartment and doing things and clicking things on my phone or whatever I'm doing is syncing up with it with a train horn like a creep all the way across town with a train horn that is not actually driving through town. I guess just going off just for no reason other than to stalk me. Just imagine if every time you hear a train horn every day, you hear it every day, whether it's a real train rolling through town or not, it's sinking on you inside of your apartment building. Just imagine if that was every day. When you hear a train horn, every time you hear one, this is happening. Whether it is actually driving through town or not, and then when it's not, it's just a parked train honking a horn at synced up moments. Synced up with you specifically inside of your apartment building. Every day. Every day. Every single day. Just imagine if that was every day. neighbors laughing when I walk back over to my phone. I hear my neighbor laughing through the walls. Just like, It's like one time. I'm not hearing anything else through the walls. I just hear that when I walk back over to my phone. I don't hear any sounds through the walls except sync sounds, generally speaking. Like 99% of the sounds I hear through the walls are sync sounds. They're just quiet otherwise. I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not. Every time I hear sounds through the walls, it's sync sounds. They don't make sounds regular ever. They have no free will or something. They just have to do things at sync moments only, or what? You can only make unsynced sounds when they're not around me or something, or what? Because when I'm hearing things through the walls, I'm only hearing sync things through the walls. Every day. That's some dedication. I'll give you that. You're dedicated. If you're a neighbor or a coworker gang stalker, if you're one of those gang stalkers, you're dedicated. You are down with the clown all the way. Refrigerator just turned on synced again. My refrigerator is really dedicated to stalking me every time that it turns on and off. My refrigerator. He's always stalking me relentlessly. But not just my refrigerator though, every refrigerator that apparently, because the refrigerator at HealthWorks does it. The refrigerators at all my jobs and other people's houses does it. So I guess just all the refrigerators are sold out, stock bots. And they pay them in ice cubes to refrigerate me or something. Nothing happening. That's good. There'll probably be something happening again in a few seconds. But not right now, though. That's good. Still nothing. That's good. So what do y'all want to see me do when I'm president? What should I do when I'm president? What's some ways that we can make this country better? What should I do when I'm president? Probably gonna go golfing a lot. That's probably gonna be one thing I do when I'm president. I'll go golf at all the top dollar golf courses around the country. That's one thing. What's another thing? I'm gonna publicly wood chipper all the Epstein Island people. We're gonna publicly wood chipper all of the gang stock orchestrators, which is probably the same people, or like the same type of people. Seeing how they drive by me with A113 license plates and love to torture people and shit with electronic weapons. And then occasionally they'll do weird shit like, or they have the Epstein Island striped shirts that I've seen. People who have a blue and white striped shirt like the Epstein Island building, meeting me right at the intersection. And like one day I was at Hy-Vee and this gang stalker walks up next to me and talks to this other gang stalker across from me, and she's like, right as she walks up next to me, she's like, hey, I'm gonna go get some pizza or something like that. She says the word pizza right next to me and says it like like she says the word right next to me, and like it's very obvious that she's doing a directed conversation right next to me. And she says the word pizza synced up next to me. I'll just do things like that sometimes. The Epstein Island striped shirts and A113 license plates. actually, in real reality, have you ever seen, there's this episode of Johnny Tests, which is a children's cartoon, and there's a helicopter, and it says CIA pizza, we deliver to evil secret islands, on the side of the helicopter. Well, now it says there's 0 people watching, but I know that that's not true because there's always someone watching. Even though there's 0 people in here watching, there's somebody watching right now. I know that there's gotta be somebody watching right now. How's it going, bro? How do I look? Do I look cool? I must, because you love to sit in here and stare at me all day in your fusion center. Take notes on how many times I say things or whatever. Write down all the things I'm saying. Put it in the supercomputer. Right? That sounds really lame, to just sit around at a computer desk all day and watch somebody and write down what they say and put it in a supercomputer. That sounds like a lame lifestyle. Maybe it pays good, I don't know. I don't know. I would just feel really lame if I was sitting at a desk all day watching people on their Facebook Live and writing down what they say to put in a supercomputer and staring at them, or staring at them with a drone all day. I would feel really lame. Like, just think about this. They're sitting there staring at me and everyone else on Earth. They're sitting there at a supercomputer and staring at people. And they just watch things happen. You just stare at people all day with a supercomputer, and then they just use this to send stalkers around people, and then they watch things happen. Like people being raped and murdered and shit. They watch things like that happen. But they just sit around staring at everybody with a supercomputer, and then they use this to send stalkers around people like me. AKA people who are just regular people. And then they make cartoons like Johnny Test with a helicopter that says CIA pizza, we deliver evil secret islands on the helicopter. And then they make Lilo and Stitch. Like, the girl goes in the dishwasher, comes out of the dishwasher or whatever, and they're like, they changed it. And they're like excuse is like, it's dangerous for children to be in dishwashers, so we're gonna change this so they don't inspire children to go in the dishwasher or something, is their excuse for why they changed it to a pizza box. It changed the lid of the dishwasher to a pizza box. And she pushes the pizza box over and hops out off the shelf. Instead of a dishwasher door opening, they changed the animation of that part to a pizza box. Huh. And speaking of Saturday Night Live, because the title of this video is Saturday Night Live. Speaking of Saturday Night Live, they had a skit that they deleted, that they, like, I think it was on their main YouTube page afterward, and they took it down or something. But they had this skit where it was like Papa John's pizza, and they're like, Papa John's Pizza. Not that other pizza place. If you want your sex trafficking pizza, go to that other place. Or something like that. Like, and then there was the Oscars, I think, or the Emmys, or something. It was Ellen DeGeneres. Like, I forget what year it was or whatever, but Ellen DeGeneres comes out and she's got pizza. She's like, pizza for everybody. She's like handing out pizzas to all the celebrities. And then she's like, where's Harvey Weinstein? And everybody in the audience is laughing when she says this. And then Adam Sandler, multiple times, has talked about how Jennifer Aniston's pizza parties are amazing. He was on the Ellen DeGeneres show talking about Jennifer Aniston, about going to Jennifer Aniston's house for pizza. And he was at the Oscars and he's like, everybody's invited to Jennifer Aniston's house after this for pizza. There's a white truck with his hazards on out in the parking lot right now. Did they just turn on right when I looked out the blinds, probably? See that flashing light on my glasses? That's a white pickup truck with his hazard lights on out in the parking lot. It's probably a stock hit. Like if I would have stood there and stared out my window longer, he probably would have walked out and then got in right as a cop drives by or something idiotic like that. He maybe would have even came out with his children. Because that is a frequent thing that is occurring. Just people walking out with their children and getting in their cars synced up. So I see people stalking me with their children, and I also see Epstein Island shirts, and I also see A113 license plates. Which is a code for adrenochrome, A113. Which I just have to keep bringing that up, because it is. That's what it means. And I see multiple cars with this license plate number. So I see people stalking me with their children. I see A113 license plates. I see Epstein Island shirts. I see like pizza stuff sometimes, like I said. Occasionally they'll do stuff, weird shit like that. I see the Ninja Turtle shirts after I talked about how the Ninja Turtles are reptilians that live in underground tunnels and eat pizza. I started seeing Ninja Turtle shirts after I was talking about that on live one night. And I also see cops stalking me. So when you put it all together, and I also see pedophiles stalking me. So when you wrap all that up with a little bow, what do you get? Does that look like weird shit happening? And I also hear babies and children screaming and crying synchronized occasionally. So when you put all that together, it's just kind of psychotic, right? See, hopefully there's bots watching this who haven't completely lost their minds. And they watch this, they think about it for a second, and they're like, oh, maybe he's right. Maybe this is weird as shit to stalk people with my children for the Epstein Island gang. Maybe that's weird, and I'm a weirdo for doing that. I should stop. I should quit. To me, that seems really weird. There's still nothing happening though. So, there's nothing happening. I'm gonna turn the camera off now, and then something is gonna happen right when I turn the camera off. There's probably somebody waiting in their apartment right now, and they're gonna walk out into the hallway right when I turn the camera off, or something like that. My neighbor's gonna cough synced, or laugh synced, or blow his nose synced. Or there's gonna be a truck pulling up right after I turn the camera off. Just seeing how nothing has been happening at all for the last, like, hour. Or, like, 40 minutes or whatever. Probably something is planning to happen, and it's gonna happen right now.